Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
Today, we're diving into some really powerful sections from John Steinbeck's classic of Mice and Men.
Yeah, it's quite a story. Even just looking at excerpts, you feel the weight of it.
Hmm.
We're focusing on bits that really dig into, human connection, dreams.
And the tough realities people face, especially
Right.
when they're just searching for a place to belong.
Exactly. It's about hope colliding with, well, the harshness of the world sometimes.
So our aim today is to get to the heart of these passages, really explore why this story still feels so relevant and um, emotionally powerful.
Right. Based on the specific source material we're looking at.
Okay, let's jump in.
So the sources often start us off near Soledad, right by that riverbank. Steinbeck creates this really peaceful scene. It's almost like a sanctuary.
A calm before the storm, kinda.
Yeah, exactly. And right there, we meet George and Lennie.
And their bond is it's front and center immediately. George, he's sharp, looks tired.
Yeah, carrying in a lot.
Yeah.
But so protective of Lennie.
And Lenny, he's described as, well, almost childlike, but with this incredible strength, like a gentle giant almost.
But maybe not always gentle, right? That contrast is there from the start.
Oh, definitely. Think about the mouse incident the sources mention.
Right. Lennie just wants to pet something soft, that tactile thing, but he doesn't know his own strength. He crushes it.
And it's heartbreaking, but it sets up so much. It shows his nature, the danger, even though he means no harm.
It's crucial foreshadowing, isn't it? That specific detail from the text, it highlights the core problem right away.
Absolutely. And holding them together through all this instability is, well, it's the dream.
The dream. Yeah. The sources paint a really vivid picture. The little farm, the acres.
Animals. Lenny's rabbits, especially.
Always the rabbits for Lennie. But it's more than just land. The sources emphasize it's about independence, security.
Not being like those other ranch hands George talks about, the ones who are all alone at.
Exactly. Having somewhere you belong. George says they're different because they have each other and they have this future. It's their shield against loneliness, really. A tangible hope.
But then the sources kind of pull the rug out. We shift from that idyllic riverbank.
Straight into the bunkhouse. Dust, temporary beds, just a whole different vibe.
Yeah, the harsh reality hits, the isolation of ranch life.
And you feel that loneliness through the other characters the sources bring in, like Crooks.
Right, the stable buck. Set apart because of his race, living alone, he's such a powerful symbol of that exclusion.
And it shows how the dream, George and Lennie's dream, starts to draw others in, like candy.
The old swamper, he sees it as his last chance, right?
Yeah, his last hope for some dignity, some security before he's just cast aside. He throws his life savings into it. It shows how desperate people were for that kind of hope, that connection.
Which just makes it all the more painful when you see how fragile it all is.
Yeah, and the excerpts really show that fragility being tested, it comes back to Lennie, his strength.
Like the mouse again, but escalating. The puppy.
Yes, the sources detail that. Another soft thing he loved, but couldn't control the strength around. And then, Curly's wife.
Who's lonely in her own way, the text suggests, looking for someone to talk to.
Right, but when her need for connection meets Lennie's inability to understand consequences in that specific ranch environment, it's just disaster.
The weight of it all just crushes the dream.
And the sources bring us full circle, back to that quiet place by the river.
But the peace is gone now. The dream's broken.
And George, he has this impossible choice to make. The text is pretty brutal in showing his final moments with Lennie.
It's gut-wrenching.
Yeah. It's framed, though, as this awful final act of protection. George realizes there's no way to keep Lennie safe anymore. Not in their world, not after what happened. The dream's impossible now.
So it's his last terrible act of love, in a way, within that brutal reality.
That's how it feels, reading those passages.
It's just, wow. So stepping back from these specific parts, what do you think this deep dive really highlights about, dreams, loneliness, our responsibility to each other?
Well, it certainly makes you think about that gap, doesn't it? Between the hopes we cling to and how reality can just step in, especially for people who are already vulnerable.
It really does. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
If you found this discussion meaningful, please do like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment. We genuinely enjoy hearing what you think.
Yeah, what part resonated most with you?
And here's something to think about. That first image, the peaceful riverbank, thinking back on it now, after revisiting these moments from the story, does it feel different? Does it land differently for you now?